Welcome to some nice ECAC Overwatch tonight. My name is Lane and I'll be casting for tonight. And tonight we have BV Overwatch White versus Williamson Gold. Once again, this is some nice Overwatch tonight. And I believe both these teams are undefeated in pool play so far. So this is a very important game and could have some playoff implications down the line, which know that this will be a highly competitive game, which is also what I hope for. And so far as we are opening up, it appears that we'll be playing map 1 on Nepal, and that Williamson banned Zarya. Now, as a Zarya main myself, right, Zarya's pretty good right now. She's pretty strong, and I just like playing her. I don't know, she's a lot of fun. You might know me by Diraptor. I am the tank for Overwatch Gold, and so if you ever tune into some of our games, you'll see me play Zarya a lot, because not only is she good, she's my favorite character, and I just really enjoy playing her. So the ban on Zarya will be interesting because she is quite strong, and BV banned Cassidy. Alright, Cass is pretty strong right now in the meta too. Not quite as strong as he was, but he still is pretty strong. His the silver bullet perk, I believe is what it's called. Very strong. Very, very strong. And so them banning Cass, you know, we could look, they might have a strong Cass player. Maybe it's just they just struggle against Casses in general, and so both these bans so far seem pretty good, seem pretty standard. And I'm excited to see what the Beavers get themselves into here. And, you know, with both these teams, you know, with Overwatch, it's, you know, team game. And so we can hope to see a bunch of teamwork tonight and just see everyone working together and just having some fun, you know, big game and lesson we get to play it. And we're just kind of waiting to get into the game now. Shouldn't be too much longer, I do not believe. But yeah, it's excited. With ECAC, you know, it's especially since both these teams are undefeated, this is a very important game, and it'll just be interesting to see how this one pans out. It'll shake up what the what the landscape of the rankings are, and so I'm very excited to see how this goes. Yeah, we are about to load into the game. They're just getting all the bans finalized and into the game. Also, important thing to know is that Tracer is currently banned. Just in general, there's probably a bug or something along with it, but Tracer is not playable tonight, just for everyone's information. Yeah, this Overwatch White has been doing pretty good. I've enjoyed watching them and seeing their progression. They progressed a lot and they've gotten a lot better, and so I'm just excited to just see if they're able to continue improving tonight. Yeah. And most important thing, I hope this is just some. Sorry, I'm just kind of reading the messages that they're talking about, and I'm just confused, but it's all good. Oh, they're just talking, just sorting the bans out. It's you know, bans are definitely a nice thing. I've thought Overwatch has needed bans for a while. I remember back in Overwatch 1 when they instituted bans in ranked, but it was like that character for that month was just banned, period. Like, there was no way to play them. And so the meta would kind of change because, for instance, if the main meta tank was off, then you'd saw some more offshoot tanks and offshoot strategies to work, and it just kind of was a fun way to shake it up. And I did like that, but I also kind of like, you know, players being able to ban before games. I think that's also a good it's a good thing too, because it allows players to just kind of know their strengths and their weaknesses and play according to that. Because, for instance, if let's just say you struggle against Pharah and Pharmacy, you know, I mean, the other team has a good Pharah. You can ban Pharah one game. You can ban Mercy another game. And it just allows you to just kind of cover your strengths and your weaknesses. And at the same time, too, let's just say you were a Doomfist player. You probably wouldn't want a Hog, because Hog is good into you, and so you would probably ban the Hog. But it also, there's still counterplay to it, though, because you're able to ban, you can only ban one per role. And so, let's just say, going back to that Pharah example, if the Pharah was an issue, then they could just ban a DPS, so that way you couldn't ban Pharah, and you can't ban the same hero twice. And yeah, we are now loaded into the game here. We'll be starting. Nice map in Nepal. We have, I'm not very good with the map names, I'm going to be honest. Like the individual points, this is the one with the hole. That's how I remember it. I've been hooked off this map so many times. It's rough. But yes, we are about to be loaded in here. We can see what comps they're on.
Ready for battle.
You can see the Beavers appear to be opening up on a Reinhardt, which is quite interesting. I want to see what the cook is. I kind of trust the cook. But we also have what appears to be a Venture, Soj, Wu Yang Kiri. Wu Yang Kiri is a really good backline right now, and it looks like Williamson is opening up on Mei Genji, Queen, Lucio, and Kiriko. So we see both teams walking in here. Williamson takes their way towards the point already. Tian survives. Or Tian being pulled off the map. But Lucio is wall running, so that they might be able to get out of position. You see a nice little flank going on here by P-Man. He could potentially get the Queen off the map, but no. So the fact that the Beavers are giving up the team is so close to both one. They have opportunity here to if Dion goes down, it'll be really hard to play this range. The Arisa swap, I don't know about the Arisa swap. You see they're on Manny and Sim, two teams. They're just nothing the best, but who knows? Arisa is pretty good in the Queen, so that might be the angle we're looking at. Picks on the Saber. Feel like he's gonna get a nice little off angle here to cover from the side. He does have more here. He gets one. They're afraid to peek. They also get the tank. He's looking very good for the Beavers right now. Took a lot of space with that Soj ult. Nice getting some nice staggers here. That pick on Ginger Bear just really could be an issue, but here you can get back quick with TP. So if the Beavers are holding this on the right, so they kind of pick off the picks here, and they do, and it looks like Ginger is also taking a rough time. Very unfortunate. I saw the potential cook. I saw it. Alright. I saw the potential that had. Although it does kind of hurt to see we see Beavers moving up into this may be devastating. Get to with that, and it's like the Beavers are backing up. They do get a kill in the tanks. They are going to have to go in here, though, due to the time. And then he'll need someone to touch. I think they will. Yes, because P-Man is able to touch, but they're in a fun opportunity here to potentially sandwich the enemy team here. The Skirko looks better. They get beat out too. It's gonna be a close fight. Hits with a nice offense. They get the Queen out. Great. They got the Queen out pretty good. Hey, you gotta be careful of the hole, man. Like I said, you'll find yourself falling in there a lot if you aren't careful, especially when they're on a character like Lucio.
Area denial.
It is a little rough. I do not believe it. With the tank just now getting back. Ooh, good Ring pop-off. Ring ult is pretty good. These are some nice understay. If they can go and push up and get this queen, this would be a very, very good stay. We see a swap off the Symmetra onto a Soj. Swap. Won't be quite as good into the Orisa, but it will still be pretty good. It'll be better into the You can see some nice riveting character. TP out, good TP. They're gonna have to weather this storm. See the Soj ult coming out of kicks. May is one. Very careful with this Lucio though. The Soj is also one. Pretty even fight here. Lucio won. But it looks like the beaters just ran out of steam there at the very end. But very close first point. It is 194.
1-0.
See what point we are on next, Paul. This is I don't really know how to describe it. It's the snow cut. Might be asking what that means.
I am gonna freak out.
Couldn't really tell you.
Are you lot ready for some bloodshed?
But it's looking like both teams are sticking with what they were on the end of last round, except switching back to the sim. We'll probably see a sim TP out of Williamson here.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
Yes, we see the sim TP, and they are going to be staying on it. Looks like they're going low ground. How interesting. Most teams will play the height, go and fight on this little bridge, but so they're giving up the point in favor of playing on the point with all of their sim turrets and potential minerals. You're gonna want to be careful for the car wash and the wall. Be devastating. Nice flank by P. They can possibly be nice and great here. Good. Honestly careful with the wall, but Akiriko is one. This is a winnable fight. Well, trading a tank or support's not always the best. It's not completely over. This is a nice high ground angle. And without the Kiriko, Williamson is looking very low.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Lucio. The Kiriko team's back in. Nice pick on the man. Guys get some frontline action. You can see it in the Beavers were able to flip the point, they're trying to focus the sim. Sim is down. Okay, now Lucio is one in the background. They get a nice pick there. And now have some point there. I can see that Atheon went with the spear perk. Spear perk is definite. It's good, and I would probably say the spear perk is good, but I think the shield perk also has a lot of uses in case by case. They're TPing straight to point here. And without Suzu out, they got beat too. TP ult here. Just unlucky. It's hard to beat with all the health they have. It'll be hard, but this is not completely losable. Sim beam does a lot, and that's looking like a team out. But they did get out beat, which is a very powerful ult. Very powerful ult. The heroes that are banned currently are is currently Zarya and Pax. Good symbol, but this is a good ult. Here it goes down. Sim 1. You got the Queen out 2. And the May ult. This could be a potentially humongous fight for the Beavers here if they're able to pull it off. Looks like it's about a 2v. See it. Oh no, the other Kyoko got back. That is so rough. That is unlucky.
Hey, hello. Good to see you.
Looking like the Beavers are going to be able to touch here. And they got out basically all of the ults. They only had the Kitsune. While they still have 2 ults. This is very winnable for the Beavers here. I'm looking for potentially a big ult for my team. May is 1. They get the May down. Lucio is also 1. Both supports are 1. Beyond switches to the Queen, and it looks like it's going pretty well. Beavers are forced to use their 3 ults there, but they do get at they trade Kitsunes, and then they use both DPS ults. But Williamson's not looking like they have much ults themselves here, as they only have the beat and going to be close to getting the Queen ult.
Hello.
They once again, they're just going to be doing a TP strat, taking straight to point. Leaders are going to have to rotate quick. Be careful for this ball here. And they get a nice flank by P-Man. Nice flank by P-Man. Might be able to get another one. And Lucio is 1. So this Queen ult was pretty big. And the beat. They get 2. They get 3. Yep. The Beaver's going to be able to stall a little bit longer, but I don't know what Ball's going to do. He does get the Symmetra. But I'm thinking that it's going to be the end of map number 1 for the Beavers as Williamson takes game 1. Or, wait, there's also a play the game. God. Good to play the game from P-Man. Go back to this.
Excavation initiation!
Well, you could debate that the Lucio kind of was jumped off so that way he wouldn't get staggered. It was a very, very smart play. Yeah, that is the end of map number 1 with the Beavers falling 2-0. But hey, very close first point, and I would argue the second point was also very, very close. That one fight went the way of the Beavers. They could have coasted for the rest. And yeah, I'll be back with the map and the bans shortly. welcome back. We are back for map 2 here shortly. And it appears we're going to be on Eichenwald. Eichenwald, I remember, was my favorite maps to Widow trick shot on back in the day. My friends would just Xbox and just in a custom game and play Widow trick shot for like an hour. All we did was just reduce the grapple cooldown. Have fun. But yes, we are back on Eichenwald here, and we are going to the bans. BVU has banned Symmetra. The sim clearly must have been an issue for BV, as the sim appeared to be gaining a lot of value, and they just don't want to deal with it. A lot of the TP strategies can be very frustrating to deal with, and so I don't blame them for banning Sim, especially as a tank player. I do not like Sim. Sim is so annoying to play against. There's so much damage, and just the beam is just frustrating to deal with. And then Williamson banned Orisa. That's an interesting ban. Clearly, they don't want to play against the Orisa. Orisa is also a very frustrating character to deal with if you don't have any proper way to deal with it. And since BV banned Sim, which is one of the best Orisa counters, it is definitely a reasonable ban, especially because we play the Orisa. But yeah, I feel that is a good bans from both teams, and we are loaded into the game now.
Traveling to Eichenwald.
You see here the nice map of Eichenwald. You know, they have run a bunch of the May sim, so I wouldn't be completely surprised here. Since the sim is banned though, but I have seen people do the May wall sim TP strat where they put a sim TP up on a May wall and they're able to run across here. Pretty epic strategy. No. I also love the Reinhardt cinematic on this map and the Bastion cinematic, which is also kind of around here. And it appears that Williamson is opening up on the rat. The junk rat. Interesting to open up on, and this comp is definitely very pokey, and it'll be interesting to see how the Beavers plan to break through this. Meanwhile, the Beavers have opened up on Zarya, May, Reaper,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Juno, Zenyatta. For some reason I forgot Zen's name. But the Junkrat and Sig will give the Zarya a lot of charge, so expect Atheon to be at 100 charge most of this round. Just be careful though, he did use just both of his bubbles. They might be able to melt the Sigma. The Sig has no cooldowns here. P-Man does go down, but the fight's not completely over. And getting a lot of nice right clicks here. Protect for some beams. I gotta break this Sig shield. We have a nice, Tion's getting a nice, Atheon has a nice little flanker. They might be able to pressure. See some nice right out from kicks, but he does find the kill on 2. They gotta be careful of walking in that room with the Junkrat. They should be able to get this Ana right here with a nice wall, guaranteeing that stagger. And if I were the Beavers here, I'd push up and see if I could maybe get a few of these staggers. You can see kicks moving up here on the high ground to try to deny Williamson from taking it. And he does force out the Sig grasp and rock. So the Sig is very little util right now. The Beavers kind of got to wait because they're still coming on a cart where their supports are at. And it'll be hard pushing down this corridor with the... knowing there's a Junkrat. But it looks like they might be able to pick up this Cass. They are able to get the Cass. Potentially, we gotta turn and help the supports on cart. Both supports do go down, and we hear the tire come out. Tiana is just able to get out. We gotta watch for this tire. Tire does not get anyone, which is nice. Well, they are going to have to watch out for the other 3 ults. That is a nice grab. They should be able to get 2 here, or at least they trade both supports. See the Blossom get nobody. Good Transcendence to counteract. The nanoed Sig though is an issue, but the Sig is weak. I don't know if Atheon is going to be able to clutch this up by himself. It's not looking like it. The soldier switch is definitely interesting, but he'll be able to go on a lot more flanks and provide a lot more damage. The Beavers do have a Juno ult coming up here, though, and a Mei ult. So look for those 2 ults this fight to enter, compared to the only one for Williamson. So the Sig is very weak. They do get the Sig. Although Kicks does go down, this fight does look pretty good for the Beavers. This high ground does appear to be an issue, though. This fight in the junk ground in a small room is not always the best option. The Beavers are going to have to do something about Williamson up on high ground. Also, they're going to get sandwiched here. That without their team able to reinforce them. Yeah, see him there. Down goes 2. Kix does get the Junkrat though, and looks like he might be able to get the Ana too, but the Kiriko does TP up. Although, the rest of the Beavers are starting to regroup and take them off this height, which is a very important step. Although the Beavers are not completely back, there is still a ways. They have got Williamson off the high ground, which is very important. So we're looking for a Blizzard here. Although Williamson does have, that is a nice pick. A nice pick by P-Man. But with 5 ults, it's going to be a difficult time. We do see Kicks here on the flank. He does go down. They do get the Kiriko, but they got to watch for this tire and the Nano. Atheon does survive for now, but he's taking a lot of damage. Not a terrible fight for the Beavers, though. They do move the cart very close to the next point. And they trade Mei ult for 3 ults from Williamson. They're still on an ult disadvantage temporarily, but they are very close to having 3 compared to the 2 of Williamson. But they will have to be careful of this visor. They might be able to get a pick on this Ana. This Ana is very far up. So, same with this Junkrat, although they have the Junkrat has an easier means of getting out. I'm looking here potentially for a nice Blossom here from Kicks. So it appears to be walking on this short corridor here. Looking for potentially a grab. Without the eat, I expect a big grab. They do get 2. If they can capitalize on these 2 and get 2. They do get the Junkrat. The Sig is 1. Sig is 1, but it's looking like they're going to heal him up. That was rough. And Blossom also came out from Kicks. So the Beavers do have to reset here. But they still have the Wu Yang ult and the Juno ult to no ults from Williamson. So this fight is not looking bad if they can position themselves. And ideally they're going to want to take this fight quick because Williamson is getting close to some ults. They do not have any right now. Mr. Feed going down early is going to be an issue. Same with Atheon Mei. This is not looking too good for the Beavers here. The Mei is able to touch, but I don't think the Mei is going to live for much longer there. They do push the cart to basically the end of second point or second phase.
Switching sides.
So the Beavers have a lot of room to maneuver.
Initiating.
As we remember, the cart it didn't quite get here, but it was about right here. So the Beavers have a lot of defense here they are able to work with. And I always thought Eichenwald has always been one of my favorite aesthetic maps. All of this isn't the best view, but just I don't know, it just seems so pleasant. And it just feels so nice. But I do know the Beavers do like to play Eichenwald. And I know in particular they're really good on defense. So I'm excited to see what they open up on here. I've heard a lot of things about the Kicks Hanzo and the P-Man Torb, so I'm very excited for that. And it appears that Williamson is going to be running they're going to be running the exact same thing that they were running on last point with the Sigma Soldier Junk on a Kiri.
Defend objective A.
Nice angle here by Kicks, although the Sigma is eating all of it. He's getting a lot of nice charge here. It'll be difficult for Williamson to push in with the Sig, especially with no speed. And with the Zarya able to eat most of the junk projectiles. And right there, down goes the Sig, so they'll be able to push up here, potentially get a few staggers. Oh, they're playing safe and smart and not getting too aggressive. And we see the swap onto Freya off Junkrat. That will be an interesting swap. I'd like to see how the Beavers are going to counteract. And along with that, the Reinhardt. That could be a big issue as Ryan is very good into the Zarya. We'll have to see a lot of shield pressure. Ooh, that charge. You know, the Ryan is weak. Beavers are able to capitalize. The May and Cryo, they should be able to push up and potentially get a nice stagger, but they're unable. Cut up on this fight, the Beavers will have the Graviton Surge here and the Kiriko ult. They'll about have all 5. And we see another swap to Monkey. That is an interesting swap. And the Genji too. So, and the Venture. A lot of swaps. We see nice pick by P-Man there on the Torb. Just holding some angles and making sure no one's getting through. Yeah, this Hanzo Torb is definitely an issue to get through. You see a grab here. Does get 3. They're going to want to destroy, and that they are able to get the Venture, but the other 2 are able to escape. You know, Grab Dragons is such a strong ultimate combo. I feel like the Beavers just are a little early. Considering Williams was not all back. But hey, if you win a fight, you win a fight. There's not a lot more to be done. Atheon with a lot of charge here and still has both bubbles. We see also the swap onto Juno. I think they've been on Juno for a while. That's a nice pick. And the Kitsune just setting the tone, setting the aggression. And they're just able to get a nice, almost team wipe. And we see here that they swap to Pharah. We can see that the Beavers are in an even ultimate exchange here, as they have the Wing ult and the Torb ult compared to both support ults from Williamson. See, the Monkey is taking some space on height. Atheon has to be careful. We see the Torb ult. We see a nice pick by Kicks. The Wing ult does come out. They are able to get it. They are able to finish up some picks here, and it's just the Pharah left. It's a pretty good fight for the Beavers. Although they do trade 2 ults for 1 Kiriko ult is very strong, and it's not looking like. I see the Pharah. They had to be careful. This Pharah flank here. If they're able to turn and kill him, that'll be a humongous pick. Atheon does have Grav. He does get the monkey, although it's a 2. The Zarya has such a lot of high charge. This is potentially winnable. It's now a 1v3. But down goes Atheon. See, the Grav and Dragons come out. It's a little rough to see them kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but just kind of thrown to try to win this fight. And we do see a swap also onto the monkey by Atheon. And oh, Mercy, they're going to go Pharmacy. It'll be hard to break through this Pharmacy with, especially when you have no hit scan. But if there's a will, there's a way. They are going to get rezzed. It'll be an interesting fight here. With both DPS ults to just the Kitsune, it'll be interesting to see what the Beavers drop here. See, they do. Atheon is able to capitalize and get a pick on this Mercy. The monkey is also 1. It's a nice pick here. I see now they're on cart to get the Alari off. And a nice stagger there by the Beavers. We do see some swaps though from Williamsburg off the Venture to Reaper and onto Diva. Those are some pretty good swaps. It'll make it very hard to play this monkey. So Atheon needs to play very passive and just play his life here, because it'll be very hard for the Alari Mercy to properly heal all their teams. Good Dragons. It's a nice pick on the far, so that they cannot barrage. The Diva is also very weak. Nice pick by Kix. This Kix Hanzo, man. What can I say? The nice team wipe there. See, Williamsburg keeps switching, so they're not able to use their ults. So they keep losing them, which is a big strategy, is because they basically play mystery heroes, and they never get the chance to use their ultimates, which are so strong. And we see about 3 ults here for the Beavers to the 2. Oh, this is a big pick on Kix. They gotta be careful for this barrage. But they have the ults to make it work. If they can turn this Reaper here, and they forced out Wraith, so this fight is still very winnable for the Beavers. The barrage does get 1, and there goes down 2. So the Beavers are going to have to get a nice reset in here. Down goes Mr. Feed. As long as Atheon lives, they'll be able to get a nice touch. So he's just stalling even more. He needs to pop the Primal. He's still very weak, though. You see the Torbolt coming in? Oh, that's going to be a big bomb. Although the Reaper is down. Atheon hangs on with a sliver. They demech Diva, though. See the Torb? The Torb gameplay? They are able to get the Baby Diva. They do get Baby Diva. And the Williamson is not able to remain on cart because they killed the Baby Diva and the Pharmacy is in the air. Great final fight there by the Beavers, and I'm excited to see this Kix play the game. Kix Hanzo, man. Just ban the Hanzo every time on this map. It's a nice pick on the Pharah. Then here, we see just... Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty. Nasty headshot by Kix there. And with that, the Beavers even it up at 1-1. That last game at the very end there was quite the thriller. Went down to the wire. Very, very close. And so, wow, that was just the game. Straight up, that was just the game. And And that's what I promise. You know, some nice, high-quality Overwatch being played tonight. And I'll be back when we're on to map number 3. Alrighty, Beaver Nation, we are back for map number 3. We have a nice 1-1 score here between BVU and Williamsburg. I think it's Williamson. Anyways, besides that, we do have the next map, which is New Queen Street. New Queen Street, it's not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite push map, but I don't think it's a bad map. I genuinely like the push maps. And we see a ban of Hanzo. I told you, the Kix Hanzo is too powerful, as well as a ban on the Junker Queen coming from the Beavers. We did see earlier on that they do like to play Queen. And so, pretty good ban, although Queen's not the best on this map, so it'll be interesting. But I think at the same time, if the Queen's an issue, you just gotta ban what the issues are. Yeah, this is Montreal, right? If I'm not mistaken, in Canada. My brother, right? My younger brother, he had a ruse going on for quite a while where he just told everyone that he was born in Canada at school, and they all believed him. I don't know why, but like the teachers legitimately thought he was from Canada. I don't know how he was able to get that to work. Oh. I do see some nice. You see the Beavers rolling out here on the Zarya. The Ram will. It's an interesting matchup between the Ram and Czar. We just have to see what they do. We do see P-Man. Down goes 2. Both supports are down for the Beavers. I don't know if P-Man will be able to get out here. Yeah, so quick fight for the Beavers there.
We can catch up. I know we can.
They do swap to the cast. I don't remember if they were on that originally. And they also swap to the Ram. So, it's a nice skin though. I will say. They do get a nice pick there on the Ash. So the Beavers looking to capitalize off that pick. We'll have to see what they are able to do with the advantage. The Ram with no form, they might be able to capitalize and punish the Ram here. Well, they are looking on the Tracer here on the side. Looking here, doing some nice offense. P-Man with a nice pick on the Ash here. But it's looking like they are going to have to... They do get a nice pick on the Kiriko too. This is looking very good for the Beavers. They do trade beat and the Ram ult here, so as long as the Beavers are able to withstand the beat at first, they'll be able to push through and get these kills. Down goes Williamson. See here with the Beavers, they did use 2 ults there, and they are going to have to be careful for this Kitsune and Ram ult, because they do have both support ults plus Venture, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. They do spot this flank pretty early from the Tracer and Lucio, but I'll be intrigued to see what the Beavers' plan is here on this fight. See that they're Kitsune in. They do get the forward spawn, and they do get the opposing cast very low. Nice dink on the Kiriko. And down goes the cast.
They have taken the robot. A mistake they will come to regret.
The Beavers do get a little... They do lose that fight there. But they might be able to kill this Ram. The Ram is very overaggressive, as well as the Lucio. They might be able to get some picks here on the overextension of Williamson, especially because they have forward spawn still. Very, very aggressive play by Williamson, and they're barely able to get out. But the Beavers are here right back on the... the point. It looks like the cast is throw though, but the Ram does get 2. And down goes the 3rd. They do commit the Ram ult here to try to win this, but it's looking like it is not going to be doing much. We do see that this is going to be a big ultimate fight here coming up, because the Beavers have about 4 ults compared to about 3 for Williamson, but they're close to another 2. So I think this fight's going to come down to whoever ults first. We do see the Beavers ult first, which is generally a good thing, and they are able to capitalize and get all but the Ramatra and the Tracer. The Tracer does go down, and it's just the enemy Ramatra in their backline. But Kicks also does go down and commits the high noon, which is very, very unfortunate. But And Mr. Feet also goes down. This is looking like a rough fight for the Beavers, and Tiana is about to go down here shortly. There was a nice fight there by the Beavers, but they just kept trying to play individually and got picked off for that. They have to be careful here, though, because they're not all completely back. T-Man might be able to get a nice play on here, but he does decide to back up. Very smart. Playing your life is fair point. We see a Kitsune come in, but that was a nice noon. It got to... And we see the Pulse also come out from the Tracer. And we see the Beavers lose that fight. And we see a swap on a Torb off the Venture. Williamson does only have the Kitsune, but nice pick on the cast. This Tracer is gonna have a rough time into the cast Torb backline. That will be a very not fun time for that Tracer player, I'll tell you. And the Beavers are able to win this team fight, and they're able to take a lot of space here. But due to forward spawn, Williamson will be back quite quick. And they are coming up. They do have 2 ults for this fight, and they're going to be very close to beat. And so it'll be very important that BB uses their Ram ult and High Noon very smartly. That Tracer is going to have a very rough time, like I said again. The Torb is just such a hard matchup for the Tracer. The cast, if they're able to turn that cast, they're able to get the cast down. You see the opposing Ram goes in with his ults. They do take him down, and we see the counter ult from Atheon. And we do see the beat come out to counteract Atheon's ult, but Atheon might be able, if he's able to live, this isn't looking, still looking pretty decent for the Beavers here. He does have form, so he can block. The Kiriko is one. She does TP out. And it's looking like the is not going to be able to make it out of this one, but the block is very powerful. His team is starting to come back. And we do see the opposing Ramattra very weak, very weak. Some nice shots by BV. You can see here. They're only down their Kiriko, and down goes Cobras. So the Beavers are in a prime opportunity here to push up and make up a lot of the lost space they had. And also down goes the cast. Kicks with a nice pick. And now that BV's all the way back, they're in a great position here because, once again, Pulse Bomb came out and found nobody. And they also swapped off the cast, meaning that Williamson has no ultimates compared to the 3 from BV. BV's in a prime position here to use these ultimates to push up this height, which is a very hard thing to do considering how far that Williamson has already pushed up. They have to be careful with this Tracer flank, though. You see the Kitsune come out first. And the Torbolt could be very useful if they're all sitting in that nice little area. And we do see the Torbolt come out just to deny a lot of space here. The opposing Ram is going in. If they're able to turn this Ram, they should be able to kill him. And down goes the Ram. They do trade both supports. But as long as the Beavers are able to just live, and they should be able to take the lead, which is the important thing here. The Tracer does touch though at the last second, and that is so unfortunate because Theon is now going to go down here, and the Beavers are not going to be able to get back. And they were so close to taking the lead. And so that they're going to get staggered even more. That is just so unfortunate. I mean, millimeters away from getting there. What is going good, though, for the Beavers here is that Williamson is continuing to push the bot, which I don't not believe is the best strategy for them, because I believe that they would want to keep it so that way that they cannot try to touch. But they are able to touch. The beat does come out, and we are going to see both Ram ults come out and the Pulse, but Theon does go down. The Beavers are going to have to keep touching here. With Bob, it will be hard to come in. And it's looking like the Beavers are just going to fall. here at the very end. Which very close map here. And it's just, we do see the kicks play the game though on the cast. So I'll be interested to see what this is. You do see, did get the ram very well. When I see this nice flank here. Oh, that was a play of games. That was a play of games, a play of games. All right, that was 1 of 1. All right, but the Beavers, once again, fall on New Queen Street. They fall again, but very close. I mean, they were millimeters away from taking the lead and being in a great position there to win that map. But they just weren't able to pull through. But with the 2-1 score, with how competitive this game is, I know that the Beavers have a good shot of coming back and clutching up. And so I'll be back when we're ready for map number 4. ASMR. ASMR. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. Alrighty, and we are back once again for map number 4, which will be find ourselves on Shambali Monastery. Shambali, new map in Overwatch 2. Not the biggest fan of it, but it's alright, really. But we do see a ban of Ramatra coming from BV, and Williamson banning Venture. You know, P-Man, very good Venture player, and so makes sense them banning one of the strengths of our team. Now, with just this 2-1 score, it's just very, very close map, very close game. And so, I'm very hopeful and excited for what the Beavers are able to do here. And as we load into the game here, we do see just a nice, I will say, this map is in a very nice location. However, my gripes are with how the map is designed. The aesthetics of it cannot be denied. A nice little truck here. Cannot read that license plate. But we do see some interesting adjustments from both teams considering the ban of the Venture and of the Ramatra. We do see Williamson on what they were running earlier with the Sigma, with the Junkrat, with the Ashe, and the Onakiri. That's something they must feel very comfortable on. And then we see the Beavers opening up on their Zarya and with the Hanzo, but also the Torb and the Kiriko and Bat, which we have not seen yet. I am looking to see a nice kicks headshot pick just right off the bat here, and we see one. Not able to get the kill though. The junk was very low, but we do see a nice little flank going out here. And as long as Williamson is not touching, the Beavers should be able to stick to nicing with the cart. We do see the nice flank from Kix. Is able to get a nice pick on the Kirikos. We trade Kirikos here. The Sigma is getting melted. Down goes P-Man, but they are able to get push the cart quite a good amount. But have to be careful walking down this hallway, though, considering that they're playing a Junkrat. The Junkrat will get a lot of value right here, as Mr. Feet is very weak, and so is Kix. And Kix does go down. Raytheon is able to get up here. Does use both of his bubbles, but it's looking like he is going to be able to get out here. The Sig used a lot of his utility. It's looking like Theon does not quite get on. Not quite get out. And so we do see here the just a interesting player. We do see P-Man going back to spawn. I wonder what he plans on switching to. The Freya, I forgot who it was for a second. So it'll be interesting to see what they are able to do on the Freya. Mr. Feet does go very low. But the thing is, though, is that Williamson is just not pushing the cart. So the Beavers are playing this very smart, and they're just saying, hey, we're just going to push the cart. We're going to make you come off your high ground. We do see 2 ults come out here to try and eliminate Atheon, and they are able to do it, but I would gladly trade my life for a Nano Flux. The Beavers are going to have to be a little bit careful here, though, due to the both DPS ults that Williamson has. That they are going to be a little bit careful, but they do have about 3 ults of their own here. We do see the first one come out. Mr. Feet does go down, but they are able to keep a lot of the space here. We do see the dragons also come out. Not able to find any kills, but just creates a lot of space here. They gotta watch out for this tire, though. See if the tire finds anything. Nope, they are able to knock the tire out. Here comes Bob, though, so the Beavers have to be careful. They do get the pick on it. They can just wait this Bob out. They're in a prime position here. They got out a lot of Williamson's ults. And we see a nice grab here from Atheon. Gets 2, but they're going to be careful. They hit the Kiriko. They have to turn on the Sig. The Sig is very low. Just 100 charge Zarya just melts any and everything. That just will be very hard to deal with it. We see a nice flank by Kix here, although he does end up going down. I do believe that that will end up resulting in even more picks for the Beavers here. We do see a swap off the Junkrat to a Soldier and off the Ana to the Lucio. So watch for a lot more speed and movement out of Williamson with these swaps, but the Beavers are able to push to the next point here, and it'll be very interesting. They do have the Freya. The Freya ult is about to be online here, and they still have the Kitsune. We probably see a trade of Kitsunes coming out here. We do see BD ult first, which is always a good thing to do. Always ult first. They trade DPS. Looks like the Sigma is going to be going down, which will be a very nice. But once again, down goes Kix. But I very much like the situation that the Beavers find themselves in. Just being up a tank is just so impactful, especially when the other team just doesn't have one. And the Beavers are able to get that quick. They got to be careful of that flank, but it appears that Williamson is not going to go for it. They do have a grab here. They're going to be careful for those Sig ults. But the Immortality Field does a good job. Humongous grab by Atheon. They're able to capitalize. They might be able to get more, but just that grasp was just so big. But Atheon just has so much charge. I don't think it's going to matter. The Sigma almost was able to clutch up there with the humongous grasp and eat, the Freya ult and just keep everyone alive, but just wasn't enough. The grab was just too fast, and they just didn't have enough resources to survive. But we do see a swap onto the Zarya and off the Sig. So that'll be interesting to see. We have not seen Cobras open up on the Zarya yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they do. A nice zoning ult there from Kix. Just make sure that they're in some good positions here. Although he does go down to the Ashe. Comes out the Visor, which just looking like it's going to melt the Beavers. P-Man does look like they are able to get out. But we do see a swap onto the Rhine from Atheon. That will be a very, very interesting thing, especially because remember the Ramatra is banned, so that one of Rhine's best counters is not playable. We see just getting up Ryan personal, making the Zarya has no bubbles here, so there's something to watch for. P-Man does go down, which is an unfortunate pick. We see the Kitsune, and Kitsunes get traded, but the Bob is going to have a nice time running through BB's backline. It's a great pick by Kix, though. But I don't to be a little too late. They do get 3, though, and they force out 2 ults for their 1. So the Beavers are not in a terrible position here. They'll be back sooner, especially with how close up the Zarya is, and the Beavers already being back. This might be, and no bubbles for the Zarya either. The Beavers should be able to capitalize off this and get a lot of space and a lot of ult charge here. But watch for a big shatter here. The grab, though, just a big grab, just gets 2. You know, it's rough. It's rough. Grab is such a strong ultimate. But getting it out, though, is very nice. We do see a swap onto the Mei from Kicks. Which, Mei and Rhine, great combination together. Just a great combination. They allow them to be together. They can just be such a strong dealer because they're able to wall off the Zarya. And we're looking for a lot of ults here from the Beavers. I'm looking for especially for this shatter here, I can assume, shortly. Especially once this beat runs out. And I imagine he's going to put Q any second. Big shatter from Maytap. They're able to capitalize. And down goes the Kiriko. He can just stay up and they can keep him up. They're in a great position here. Although he does go down. The Czar still is one. Kicks, I mean, is able to get the pick. But they're going to need P-Man to clutch up and touch the cart. It's... Oh, he was just not quite able to get there in time. Just so close. I think he popped the ult a little bit too early, so it slowed him down. But just such a close... Almost a little touch. But the Beavers were able to push it pretty far through third point. Which is really a good thing. Because Shambhala is such an interesting map. You have no idea. You might get stuck here. You might get stuck here. You might get stuck here. You know, or you might get stuck where the Beavers got stuck right up here. There's just so many areas where in Shambhala where you can just get stuck and get just bogged down. You know, even like up here, there's just, you know, here or here. There's just so many areas that the Beavers could hold Williamson off so that way they cannot properly push the cart to where they are. But so far from what we've seen from the Beavers, they are running what we've seen them run before, except an Ana instead of the Kiriko and the Baptiste, which I think they must like on this map. With the Ram and Venture ban, you know, you can definitely see that playing effect on both teams. It is looking like, though, that Williamson will be opening up on the ball. A ball Zen Kiri, Soj, Genji. It's quite interesting. Ball, I'll just be interesting to see what they're able to do with their ball. I mean, that's definitely a play, but Beavers are going to want to try to touch here. The Soj is one, but they just can't be giving up all this space because it'll be hard to take back. We do see Atheon drop. I think he's coming back up to help his team. And if they are able to get the ball, although Mr. Fee does go down, just being up a tank is just so big, especially with P-Man coming back shortly. Actually, if they're able to get the Soj is one. Just the Zenyatta's just very hard to keep everyone up with Zen. Down goes Ninja Bear. P-Man's getting dove by both DPS, but he is able to grab a Mega and survive a little bit longer. It appears the Beavers fall right here. And it's looking like Mr. Feed also goes down again, and it goes down again. So just some really big staggers there by Williamson. So tonight the Beavers are able to touch it. We see a swap onto the Moira, good swap off the Baptiste onto a more survivable. They're just really very hard. It's not looking good for Dion, just with how much damage he took and just getting booped around and just exploding is really the best way to put it. A nice shot there by Kicks. We do see this Kiriko. They should be able to kill. Kiriko's way out of position. They should push up and kill the Kiriko just like that. They do also get the pick on the ball. So the Beavers are in a good position here to potentially just to stop Williamson from getting any more point progress with the cart, and also at the same time getting a humongous stagger on the Zenyatta. That's going to delay them so much. And the swap onto Monkey is a good swap. I mean, you see that their team very diveable, and just also just such a good matchup into the Genji. I heard some big things from this Monkey swap. They're going to be careful though. They do have Williamson does have 5 ults, and I get the Nano does help Atheon stay alive. It's not able to keep the rest of the team alive, and so the Beavers are going to go down in this fight. And they do get 2 ults out from Williamson. But they still have another 3 to the 2 that BV has. So BV will have to play this fight very smart here. We do see the ball hanging. Very early slam. It's not really able to capitalize much off that. We get the fade out of the Moira already. We do see Atheon go in. And so that they do force out Tranche, which is a great ult to force out here. And as long as they stay alive, they see the good turbo out. They might be able to kill. They get the ball, and just the combination of the Torbolt and the Monkey going in was just able to just divide and conquer the entire enemy team. And the Genji was slightly staggered there, which will be just a nice stagger. We do see a swap onto the Hog and Lucio, so that and the cast. So much more difficult to dive now. So Atheon will be having a much rougher time, but the Monkey is not. It's still he still has a chance here, but they'll have to be mindful that Hog. They are going far. I didn't even know you could go over here. I just learned something new. Nice pick on the Kiriko though. They are going to be careful. Just big dragon and just big slam. Just nice synergy there by the Beavers. It's looking like that they're going to be able to get the cast down and just... If this Hog just... Might be able to get a nice stagger on this Hog here. Yeah, just a great stagger on the Hog. But wow. I did not know there was a pathway over here. Huh. I was wondering why they were going so far. But we also see a swap on the Reaper here by Williamson. He's probably going to try to TP up there. Nice headshot on the Hog. Just we are looking at about an even-ish ult fight for both teams. The Monkey ult here will be able to keep. We should try to keep Atheon alive. Nice, just pop in early. Don't want to get randomly just headshot by the Hog or the Reaper. The Beavers are just staying a little bit too long, and so he goes down. They do get a nice pick on the ulting Soj. We are looking potentially the anti could be fat, but just barely misses. Nice dodge on the Hog. They could just Hog is just not real. All right, we do see a swap onto the Malga. Theon does go down there. And kicks, it's not looking too good for kicks either. And we do see Williamson get to the next point. But the Beavers are in a great position here.
Finally, things are getting interesting.
With Williamson only having about 3 ults here to the 4 of BV. BV's in a great position here. And this is just also just going to be such a hard thing to push through. And this Malga swap will be good into this Hog, although he does get out. That was a nice play here. The Nano also comes in. You see the Nano come in. And the Dragon, which does not find him, but it just creates a bunch of space here. Atheon is able to get out again. They force out the beat, and now the Torbo. It's just an old Overwatch ult fight here. The Hog just is 1 health. It's just getting melted. They're all 1. We do see... You see not... It's just Atheon against the world here. And it's going to be rough into the Reaper and Hog. And it's just not quite able to get it done. But are the Beavers... The Beavers might be able to touch here and get... Oh, no, but just not quite able to touch here on the last point. And with that, that is the game as Williamson takes down BV 3-1. We're going to see a nice play of the game here from Spanky. We'll see what this play was. Just getting you going in, just getting some, just one pick, I guess. But with that, guys, that ends the match tonight. Very close match. Very close. Just, just very, very close. Close game. But sadly, the Beavers just come up a little bit short. And it can suck to lose, but very close game. A lot of good things to learn from this game, and also a lot of good things happen in this game. That was a good team, and I imagine the Beavers will bounce back quite well from this, and they will just make the right adjustments and be able to bounce back properly. But yeah, once again, the Beavers fall tonight 3-1 to Williamson in a very close 4-game series where Beavers also could have come out on top today. And with that, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your fall break here at BV, which you are on. I just pray that each and every one of you has a great rest of your night.